Hi there, I'm here to talk to you today about my new project, the Kevin Ballard Project. It should be out in spring or summer of 2017, depending on how quickly the mastering goes. Just to give you a little backstory, I've known a guy named Dennis Cupp all my life practically. We went to high school together and were in bands. I think our first band was in 1984. So we've played in bands and clubs growing up all throughout the 90s. And I reached out to him in November of 2015 because I had this idea. I wanted to get all the King's Men back together. And so we met up, we had lunch, and we talked, and we decided that maybe it would be better to move forward instead of moving backwards. And so Dennis had a vision for an album that he wanted to record, and he wanted to be involved in the music, and he wanted to bring in a lot of different professional musicians to play on the record. And so basically what happened was we were fortunate enough to get a group of musicians, and everyone came in and contributed, and we created this big casserole, and everyone put their ingredient into it, and when it was all finished, it was very flavorful, to draw you an analogy. But the first thing we did is we booked the studio. We went in and we pulled some material off the shelf that we had written in the past, and then I had 2 or 3 songs that were ready to go that were new, and I brought those in, and then we began writing the remainder of the record. And once we got the arrangements together, we cut scratch guitars and vocals, and then we handed those mixes over to Ricky Shelton, who is a fantastic drummer. He's played with Mother Station, Dust for Life, and many other groups, and we were fortunate to have him as our drummer on this project. And so he listened to the tracks for a couple of weeks and then formulated drum parts in his head, and he came in and he knocked the drums out in a few sessions. And then after that, Dennis was taxed with the chore of putting bass guitar on the record, and he did an outstanding job. And then we discussed keyboard parts for a couple of the slower songs, and we brought in Angelo Rapan, who is from Romania. He is a classically trained pianist and has a new age background, and he added a whole new dynamic to some of our slower material. And it was awesome meeting him, and I learned a lot about piano playing watching him. After that, we began doing guitar segments, acoustic guitar segments, and I did some, Dennis did some, and then Adam Hart Memphis joined, and he was kind of our utility guy because he is such a versatile musician in his own right, and he can do keyboards if you need him, which he did, and he can do guitars if you need them, and he did, lead and rhythm. So we were very fortunate to have Adam play. And then Donnie Wayne Smith was fresh off the Winger tour, and then he came in and played some rhythm and lead parts, some blistering leads. And we were starstruck and thrilled to have him involved with the project. And because it was a Memphis record, we wanted to have the kind of the Memphis horn sound, so we reached out to Steve Dolan of Free World and Prentice Wolf Woston. Steve played trumpet and Prentice played trombone respectively, and they certainly made it sound like Memphis. And after that, the decision for backup vocals, we decided and reached out to JoJo Jeffries, who is an incredible singer and musician and performer in her own right, and we were thrilled to have her join. And the other backup vocalist was somebody that I have admired for many, many years. We played in clubs, not in the same bands, but years ago, a guy by the name of Bernard DeSec. And just to give you a little info on Bernard DeSec, he could have cut the lead vocals on this record very, very easily. But he was a true professional, and he came in and we got a background vocal blend that was congruent with what we were trying to achieve. And so it truly is an extraordinary album. And I must tell you that if you've never gotten any music of mine, or you never do, at least get this. because it's well worth your worth a listen. It's pretty amazing. So yeah, it should be out. We should have a single out in the spring, and look for updates on this website and visit us on Reverb Nation, and stay tuned. Thanks.